But in the winter of 1846, a group of American pioneers set out from Illinois with a dream shared by countless others to find a new life in the fertile valleys of California. They were farmers, laborers, wives, and children, driving covered wagons across the vast wilderness on what was then called the Oregon-California Trail. The journey was long and difficult, but for these 87 souls, it was a promise of prosperity. At the heart of this group were two men, George Donner and James F. Reed. They led their families with cautious optimism until they reached a crossroads at Fort Bridger in present-day Wyoming. Here they were approached with an enticing claim, a shortcut to California being promoted by a man named Lansford Hastings. Hastings' guidebook promised to save time and distance, even though he had never fully traveled the route he described. But persuaded by the lure of beating winter, the Donner Party abandoned the established trail and veered off into what would later be known as the Hastings Cutoff. But reality was far from Hastings' promise. The terrain was brutal. Jagged canyons forced the travelers to chop down trees just to make a path for their wagons. And then they faced the Great Salt Lake Desert. Instead of the 2 days Hastings had claimed, the desert crossing took nearly a week under scorching sun and soft, unending alkali mud. Oxen died, wagons sank, and precious time was lost. Emotions frayed. In a deadly confrontation, James Reed killed a fellow emigrant and was banished from the group, leaving his family behind. Weeks behind schedule and physically spent, the party finally reached the Sierra Nevada foothills in late October. They were tantalizingly close to California. Only a few days of crossing remained. But fate turned cruel. On October 31st, a storm broke. Rain quickly turned to blinding snowfall. Within hours, 5 feet of snow buried the path ahead. When dawn came, the trail was gone. The Donner Party was trapped. They made camp near what would later be called Donner Lake and constructed crude shelters. Snow didn't relent. It continued falling, piling into drifts that buried cabins up to 20 feet deep. Weeks turned into months. Food ran out. First, they ate their livestock. Then they boiled cattle hides in hopes of nourishment. They even ate mice. Hunger clawed at their minds and bodies. By mid-December, desperation generated a plan. 15 members, weak and frostbitten, fashioned crude snowshoes and set out into the frozen wilderness in hopes of finding help. They called themselves the Forlorn Hope. The trek became a nightmare of blizzards, starvation, and exhaustion. One by one, some perished. And in that vast, merciless expanse, their worst fears were realized. Survival forced them to consume the bodies of those who had died. After 33 days, only 7 of the original Forlorn Hope managed to reach a settlement in California. Their skeletal appearance stunned the locals. The horror of what had transpired began to spread. Word reached others, and organized relief efforts climbed into the mountains. The first rescue party reached the Donner camp in February 1847. What they found defied belief. Survivors clustered in snow-covered hollows, living on the edge of death. Over the following weeks, 4 relief parties would be sent, clawing through unimaginable snowdrifts to retrieve the stranded. By April, the last of the survivors were carried out. Of the 87 pioneers who entered the Sierra Nevada in hope, only 48 lived to tell the tale. Nearly half perished in that brutal winter. The tragedy of the Donner Party became seared into American history, a grim testament to the power of nature and the fragility of human hope. Today, at Donner Memorial State Park near Truckee, California, the snow-covered peaks have quieted and summer visitors swim, hike and ski. But the memory of that winter lingers, a chilling story etched forever in the annals of the American West.